Yes. Welcome to Mix It Up. We're live. With a little music this time. We're trying to wake up a little bit. It's been a long day, hasn't it?
Yes.
Well, I should learn how to fade that out instead of just stopping it. Sorry, Ariana. Anyway, welcome to Mix It Up. We're live here on YouTube and on younow.com/mixitup. So YouNow is over there and YouTube is over here, but we're going to look over here because that's what's going to be on the internet forever.
Forever.
Follow us on Twitter, Mix It Up TV, at Mix It Up TV, and me at Caleb Graham.
And me at KitKat Lexi.
We've got a lot to talk about tonight.
Yes, we do.
This is our first live show.
In a while.
Yeah. We did a recorded one the other night because we were having some technical difficulties. But we have a lot of stuff we're going to talk about tonight. The first topic
She's distracting me.
is there's Ariana up over there. This is one that you found interesting. So why don't you start us off? Oh wait, before we do that, sorry.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
Wait.
We are gonna live tweet during the show. So tweet us at MixItUpTV, #MixItUp, and we'll look at some of those in just a little while. We've got 2 questions for you tonight. The first one is, do you believe that there is life on other planets?
Yeah.
That's going to be our first topic we're going to go into in a minute. And the second one is, if you like Twitter or Facebook better, which of the two, and why. So tweet us at MixItUpTV, #MixItUp, and let's see what you have to say. Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I just thought it was really interesting. I was looking for some news things to talk about, and on CNN they were talking about how they just did a panel of scientists and astronauts, and they were talking about how we're a lot closer to finding life on other planets than we actually think that they are. They're looking for signs of life, obviously. They've been sending out, like what's it called? Those little crafts.
Are they not, like drones or
no,
telescopes?
They've been sending out like little, kind of like drones, like broadcasting like things to the universe for a couple of years now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they've been sending out music and all that stuff to see if we can get anything to respond back to us.
Yeah, is that the Kepler telescope that does that?
No,
I think it's the Kepler telescope that does that.
And they said that in our galaxy they found about 100 billion planets, which is a lot. So I feel like there definitely has to be life out there, because I don't think, if there's 100 billion planets, how are we the only planet that has life? Like, that's crazy. And they didn't know that we had 100 billion planets 5 years ago, so that's a huge step. But yeah, they found actually an Earth-sized planet, and it orbits around a sun that's in the habitable zone, so it's just like ours. Like, it's literally, they found an Earth, and they know that they think that it has water. So if it has water, then there's life.
Yeah.
So I think that's really interesting, and I actually messaged some of my friends on Facebook. Sorry, what is that? I messaged some of my friends on Facebook asking them what they think. And Christina said, probably in a parallel universe, who knows, anything's possible. Kelly said, maybe not human-esque life, but intelligent life. My friend Tiffany actually said that, honestly, I don't think so. There hasn't been anything to legitimately suggest otherwise. Where my friend Jonathan, which I agree with him, the universe is too big for there not to be another planet as similar to Earth. My friend Kayleen, I just thought this was really interesting because for me, I think about lots of different things, and she said, I haven't invested too much time pondering that. I suppose it's possible. Which to me, I can't even imagine not pondering that. Like, there's nothing against her at all. Like, some people, they're just completely different.
Right.
They think about different things, but I don't know, I ponder stuff like that. Like, I think about, like, oh my goodness, if there's life, like, what do we do? And like, do
it's
we
almost
talk
like
to
you want to
them?
go meet them.
Yeah.
Every time I think of it, I think about Star Wars, and you know how you go to every planet on your spaceships. That's what I want to do. That's kind of like why I want us to find life on other planets, especially if it's life, if it's or like living beings that are like us, that are humans, or close to the same species as we are. I've always been a kind of indifferent about this subject because coming from my belief system and how I was raised, I'm a person of faith, so I've always believed that God created the earth. However, in one of the classes that I took in college, it actually was a religion class. We talked about this once.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember the professor saying, yes, we have the Bible, we have those records of God creating this planet. But that doesn't mean that he may not have created planets otherwhere else that have people just like us, or what other kind of, thing. So I don't know. I kind of feel like that it's possible. One of the things that I read said, like you were saying, in the last 5 years, they said they've discovered at least 100 billion other planets that exist in our galaxy.
Yeah.
And then the other Earth-sized planet, they discovered that it was similar to ours because of the way that it orbits the star that it's on, and it has the same kind of characteristics as we have here. And also, the other thing that was interesting that I read was, where is it? Oh, 5 or 10 new stars are being born per year in our Milky Way. Now, the Earth is 4.5 billion years old, so that's only like 1/3 of the age of the universe, apparently. But I feel like it's possible, and they're coming up with more and more technology every day to be able to try to get out there. There's a new thing that I think is coming out in a few years that's going to try to go out into the universe and search. So I think that's really cool. It's an interesting topic to talk about. So let us know what you think. If you think that NASA has what it takes, I think they do. If anybody's going to do it, then they have the minds and stuff, I think, to do it. So
yeah, I do too. And I other question I asked was like, do you think we should make contact? Like,
absolutely.
do you think so? Because my friends, I personally kind of don't, because I watch a lot of Doctor Who.
Right.
And so all you see is like, let's kill everyone, and you're like, no.
But again, like that's our own view of it. There could be, we don't really know. That's all a made up version. So we don't know really what it would actually be like. I think that if we were able to find proof of life away from Earth or in another planet, then we should, I don't know if I want to use the word spy, but like we should kind of seek it out first and kind of observe before.
Oh, me too.
You know what I mean?
I agree, yes.
Before we did that. I mean, it'd have to be like in a really secretive way, so that if there was somebody else there that like saw this thing going, woo, be a little nervous for that.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's kind of, just kind of have to wait it out and see.
Yeah.
I think it would be cool if it was peaceful. I think that would be really cool.
But I don't know, I feel like the way that our world is, we're not even peaceful with each other. How
it's
could
true.
we be peaceful with another planet?
Another thing, this reminds me of the girl, remember when they were doing that thing where you could sign up to take the trip to Mars but never come back?
And die there?
And probably die there. That, I don't know, that was
ridiculous.
Crazy to me.
They're still doing it.
I know they are. They're still talking about it. And I remember the one girl that was like really big in the news for wanting to do it. Anyway, we're going to move on to a little bit deeper topic. One of the biggest things in the news right now is the story of little Cooper Harris, who died in his father's car after being pretty much baked for 7 hours while his dad was at work. We're not going to really talk a whole lot about that particular story, but there was one story that I saw today on the news where a man in Atlanta was arrested for leaving his 3-month-old daughter in the car while he went into court because he didn't pay attention to what the police and security guards were saying about bringing his kid in. They said that he couldn't bring the car seat through security, but the child could still come. He just couldn't bring the car seat. So he thought that meant that he couldn't bring his child into court. So he put her back in the car, strapped her into the car, cracked the windows, and then went into the courthouse. Well, this lady saw him do it and immediately went to his car, got his window to go all the way down, and got the child out. And now the little girl is with her grandparents, and he's been arrested and is being charged with child cruelty. And I just that kind of thing. And then there was another story too about I can't remember if it was a mother or father that left 3 kids in their car, and these people came and smashed the windows to get the kids out. Like, especially with what's going on with this major story out of Georgia, the guy that's being charged right now for killing his son. Why would you even do that? You know what I mean? And probably not, pretty much everybody in the world knows about this story, okay? The hearing was broadcast all over the place. All kinds of people know about it. Do they have to be aware that this is a hot topic. They can't just leave their kids in the car, especially in the summer. I mean, even if it is for a minute. The one that the kid, I remember now, the one that they smashed the window, the lady had gone in to get a haircut and didn't want to bring her kids in with her. You know, I just,
Yeah.
where is the rationality? Where is the sense in that? It makes no sense.
Because
Like, I
people
want you
think-
to go sit in a car for just 15 minutes. Like, there's been people, it's become like a huge thing on the internet now.
Did you see
People
the
are doing
dad?
videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are doing videos where they're sitting in their car. Which I remember one time when I was in high school, my mom was going to the doctor, and I chose to sit out in the car. She was only going to go in for like 5 minutes.
Mhm.
Just in the 5-10 minutes that she was gone, I was sitting in the car with the window down, or just cracked a little bit, and I remember just sweating. I remember starting to sweat profusely, like it was my arms were beating up with sweat, like just been 10 minutes, and that was during the summer. And we live in all these cases pretty much are in the South. It's very hot in the South during the summer. We get up to almost 100 degrees a day, and I don't know.
Oh no, I remember when me and my cousin were little, my aunt left, like her mom, she left us in the car to go grocery shopping. And we probably sat in the car for about 10 minutes, and then we took the baby out, who she was like infant. We took her out, and we went in and we found her in the store. We were like, it's too hot, we're not sitting in the car.
Yeah.
Like, thankfully we were old enough to do that.
Right.
Like,
but these kids are
not.
babies. They don't know. They can't do anything for themselves. You know?
Just think, I feel like it's crazy. Like, why would you leave your child in the car? Like, they can't fend for themselves. And I understand, like, I don't understand forgetting your child in the car, because I don't understand how you could do that. But I was reading an article about how if you're doing something that usually doesn't involve someone else, it's just an automatic thing. Like, I get that, because there have been times where I'm like, all right, when I leave work, I'm going to go to the grocery store, and then I end up going straight home because all I'm doing is just driving.
Yeah, because
I can understand that.
Yeah.
But with this guy, and you don't want to talk about it, but how did you forget your child in less than a mile?
Yeah, I don't care what time of the day it was. He was more concerned about getting on his phone to send his penis to this 16-year-old girl than his child in the car. You know, I'm sorry, but that's what he did. And even though it's all alleged, like, they have the evidence showing that he sent the pictures to all these women, you know. I don't know. I feel like he knew exactly what he was doing.
You think so?
I do. And I think because all the evidence shows that, you know, the evidence is not working for him at this point. I also don't think that the wife was completely out of the blue on it. I think that she knew something.
I said that she's too calm.
And I think that she knew what was going on, but they just haven't figured out enough evidence to charge her yet. And you know, she left Georgia. She's not even back home anymore.
Oh,
she left and is staying in Alabama with some family. And she got an attorney. So there's that. But go on with the smallpox stuff.
Yeah. Okay. So I know
this is a little bit of a lighter topic, but not.
Well, it's not. But I've been making a lot of jokes about it lately, especially because I'm not feeling too good. I've been joking about how I'm dying of smallpox, even though it's not a laughing matter. But seeing as this particular human disease has been basically eradicated, it's not really something we should be worrying about. But at the National Institutes of Health, they found in the very back of a storage closet some vials of smallpox, which is interesting because there's only supposed to be 2 known vials of smallpox in the world, which is here in Russia, but we didn't know about this one. So, because only the UN is like, let's destroy it completely. Yeah. And then Russia's like, no, we're holding on to it for.
We wanted to keep it because they kept it.
Because they kept it, yeah.
Which aren't these two that they said that they weren't really documented. Like, they were kind of like in the back of a storage room.
Yeah,
you know,
they just found them. They completely forgot about it.
They were dated like 1950 something.
Yeah, which really makes me wonder, like, when. Just because you know how some people are sometimes where they're like, oh, we have to destroy this. Let's just tuck this away. I'm just wondering if maybe a scientist did that. Like, oh, you know what? Instead of destroying it, let's tuck it away. Maybe we'll need it. And then they just kind of, forgot that it was there because, they move on. But yeah, like, the scientists aren't really worried about this particular scientist who helped eradicate it. He's not worried about it being brought back. And the vials are not quite alive. Like, the virus is still alive, but not enough so that it could be potentially fatal. However,
It was growing though in culture,
yes,
wasn't it?
they just decided to start growing it in a smallpox approved containment laboratory. I'm like, that's a great idea, guys.
It's a great idea.
Perfect. This is exactly how horror movies start.
Yep.
We're gonna be in World War Z pretty soon. Like, this is not a good idea.
The zombie apocalypse is upon us.
Yeah, like
because of smallpox.
Ugh, so dumb. And because back in the 20th century, smallpox almost killed 500 million people.
Mm-hmm.
That is a lot of people. Like, that is.
And they would put out a lot of propaganda too. I've read about this before. They would put out a lot of propaganda, like pictures of people that were dying of it, to try to convince
people to get vaccinated.
The world to get vaccinated, because they did come up with a vaccine that was,
And it looks painful. It looks
very
completely
painful. The picture of that guy
painful.
that was in that article, it was.
He looks like he's
terrible.
writhing in pain.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it looks awful. And the death rate is 30%.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, everyone who's already sickly, you're dead. You're gone. And then children, you're gone. So that's perfect.
Yeah. It wiped out a lot of people.
Yeah,
it's
unfortunate.
The good thing is though, if some accident did happen, which they are keeping very tight leash on it.
Mm-hmm.
But if an accident were to happen and somebody were to get it and spread it or whatever, which even still this number to me is not very much, but there are 220 million smallpox vaccines stored in a freezer. But there's more people than that in the United States.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's more people than that in Russia.
Oh, yeah.
And who knows where it could go, besides there. So, I don't know. I think they should get rid of it. It's something that we were able to conquer and control or get rid of. I don't see the reason for keeping it. But
yeah, I feel like there are other things that we can, which just sounds terrible, but there are other things that we can use as a war tool.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not put disease as a part of it. I feel like let's keep the most of the population out of it. Mm-hmm. If you want to fight a war, fight it with your soldiers that volunteer. Right. Don't fight it with civilians that are going to die and suffer.
Because those kinds of things is what leads to epidemics, where you try to fight some disease, but if you don't do it right and it goes too far, it can infect more than the people that you were going after.
And it can infect the entire world. That's just,
Yeah. My question then is, are you scared of the smallpox coming back due to this new discovery? Let us know. Tweet us and let us know. Okay. Last hot topic.
Okay.
I've already talked about this twice, but I just have to bring it up because I found out something new today. As I have said multiple times, I'm a really big fan of The View. And which, before we go on, I'm going to say hi to, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people watching us on YouNow. Hello, everyone over there. Thank you for joining us. I'm sorry if there's some sound issues. There's one comment there that says we sound funny. Overly big and aggressive, loud cow moaning noises. I think
that's just that person.
That's a spammer.
Yeah.
Anyways, we'll move on. I love watching The View, and as we all know, they've had a shakeup over there recently. Jenny McCarthy and Sherry Shepherd are leaving the show, and so far the only confirmed new / returning co-host is Rosie O'Donnell, which I'm super excited about because she definitely brought the controversy when she was on the show before. But there's still a lot of rumors going on about who's going to join the show. They just keep saying that there could be a man join, which I think is a great idea. I'll send in my application whenever you're ready. There's talk of a Latina woman maybe joining the panel. They've had a lot of guest Latina co-hosts on the past couple of weeks. There's a long list of names. That Bill Rancic has co-hosted a lot, as guest co-hosted a lot. I think he's one. Mario Cantone, Kathy Griffin, Sarah Palin even said something about how she would want to be on The View. Will Kane, Ross Matthews, Ann Curry is a new one. She doesn't really have a job right now since she's not on the Today Show anymore. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. There's all kinds of people that are being rumored. It's kind of getting annoying now. But I mean, I know you don't really watch the show a lot, but you've watched it a little bit more lately because of me. Would you like to see a guy on there, or do you like it with just the women?
I don't know. I think it would be interesting with a man. He would definitely bring a different viewpoint on certain topics, where I feel like right now it's just clearly all women.
Yeah.
And so
it's fun when they have a guy on there, because even when they talk about women-only subjects, it almost makes it funny because he either will or will not contribute.
Yeah.
You know, he'll either get. I mean, it's just, but most of the time they do because that's what they're there for. But I don't know. I think it'd be great. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm super excited though to have Rosie back. I'm really excited. I can't wait. And Meredith Vieira also was asked. She was the original moderator of the show. She said absolutely not, because she has her own show coming out. Jenny McCarthy though has a radio show she's going to be doing on Sirius XM called Dirty Sexy Funny. Okay. And it's supposed to be like a show where she's been doing this tour where she goes and she kind of like promotes female comics, kind of, I think is what she's doing with it. It's gonna be on Wednesdays at night every week. She said that she's excited because she won't be interrupting people anymore and she'll be able to talk uncensored.
Yeah, she definitely will be. Like
us, because we're very scandalous, aren't we? Okay. Well, let us know what your thoughts are about The View. I had posted on, let's go to Twitter real quick and see if we've gotten any, I didn't want to leave that. Let's go to Twitter and see if we've gotten anything. I don't think we have. No, we haven't. But I do have some responses from, I did post a question on Facebook today, and I asked about the Twitter-Facebook thing, because this is something that there was a poll recently that showed that more people use Facebook than Twitter.
Oh, yeah.
And Facebook is a lot more of a broad age range of people, whereas Twitter is a lot of the younger generations using Twitter, which is interesting because it's been around for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just going to read some of the things that that I heard, and then we can talk about our opinions. The first one was, of course, there were a couple of just short ones, which were kind of funny, because Lizzie said, no Twitter, Facebook all the way. Twitter is just like the status update portion of Facebook. Waste of time to have both, in my opinion, Danny said. Then this is kind of one that I kind of agree with the most. I use both for different things. Facebook is more for personal stuff, whereas Twitter is for networking. Neil said that. Brianna said Twitter is dumb. I disagree.
You think you're dumb. No, I'm joking.
No, she's not. Steven said, I used to use Twitter all the time, but since Facebook integrated the hashtag and Instagram does it as well, Twitter has fallen way behind. I think it is mainly used by younger kids now. That's why I've stopped using it, and that's my advertising/marketing opinion. I don't know about that. I mean, I think that what Facebook and Instagram did was they integrate, which Instagram has always had the hashtag as an option because you connect it to Twitter if you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Facebook and Instagram did that because it was so popular on Twitter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Twitter started the hashtag craze, so we do need to give credit there. But the last one was, I prefer Twitter. It's funnier. Not as many characters can be used. Easier to scroll and read. I delete Facebook before my Twitter. Follow me. Gave it at Jar Shane. Well, shout you out there, Shane. What do you think? I know you're a big Twitter person, so am I. So it's kind of.
I like Twitter. I started Twitter before I had a Facebook. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like Twitter is more for like a lot of people that usually use Twitter are celebrities, and then you've got like that 20-something teenage generation gap that uses it. I feel like the older you get, probably the less that you use Twitter and the more you use Facebook. But I personally like Twitter because I can post whatever the heck I'm thinking, whatever random thought that I'm thinking, I will post it on Twitter because I'm like, that's funny.
Right.
It's on Twitter now.
Yeah.
Whereas on Facebook, you can't really do that because then your friends are like, oh, you're just seeking attention, or, you're just being random or awkward, and you're just like, no, I'm just trying to be me. I'm just trying to be,
Yeah, everybody on Facebook, I feel like when you post something, they think it's about them.
Yeah.
Whatever you post, they feel like it's about them. Whereas on Twitter, it's more of a conversation because you can make your tweets protected where only your followers can see it, but like I don't have mine protected, and you don't either. So to me, it's more like a conversation, which is what I like about it, because you don't have. That's one of the things that drives me up the wall about Facebook is I'll get on and I'll see these long, almost like blogs about how dramatic my day was or your day was. I don't want to. I mean, especially if it's my close friends, like I care, but I'd rather you call me or text me about it than read it on Facebook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I agree with Shane. I would probably delete Facebook before I would delete Twitter, especially after all that other stuff that they're doing where they're like changing your news feed to make you see good or bad things. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Why would you do that? It upsets me because I'm like, oh, I'm not even getting to see certain people because they think that I'm more. No, like I just let me see.
That's
who
why I
updates the
create
most.
if there's anybody that I want to see specifically, I create like a list or a group that follows those individual friends, so that if I want to see what my close friends have posted or done that day, I go to that page and that's all I see is those people. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's a really good idea. I'm gonna do that.
I do that sometimes. Okay, well, there's your tweet backs. Now to our entertainment chat fest. We have a really funny thing to talk about with this. Alexis actually sent me this one, but
oh my gosh, I love it.
It's very funny.
The internet is great.
Some of the internet jokesters are really funny, and this one was really funny. Jay, where's his name? I put it in my notes. Where is it? Maybe I didn't. Anyway, an internet jokester, I'll have to look it up while I talk about this, but he posted a photo of Steven Spielberg sitting, smiling next to a dead Triceratops.
It's not real.
And let's see, here it is.
If you don't know who Steven Spielberg is, he's the director of Indiana Jones and Saving Private Ryan.
And Jurassic Park.
And
Jaws. He's done a lot of big action movies. What did I say? Where did it go? Jay Branscombe. Okay, so he's like a Facebook jokester guy. He posts all this crazy stuff. Well, Steven Spielberg got in trouble, even though it was not something that he did. The quote that Jay posted with the photo said, "Disgraceful photo of recreational hunter happily posing next to a Triceratops he just slaughtered. Please share so the world can I didn't spell that right. Can shame this despicable man." At 5:30 today, I went to his Facebook today, and looked at the photo. And at 5:30 this afternoon, there were 17,314 likes, 42,917 shares, and 10,872 comments on this picture.
That's amazing.
My favorite. Okay, I wrote down 2 of my favorite comments. Okay. I didn't read all 10,000 of them, but in addition to Triceratops, Steven Spielberg has also killed sharks. Oh wait. That was another picture that Jay posted. He posted a picture of Steven Spielberg standing on top of one of the sharks from Jaws. Yeah. Anyway, the comment said, "Steven Spielberg, I'm disappointed in you. I'm not watching any of your movies again, you animal killer. And it's disgraceful. No wonder dinosaurs became extinct. Sickos like this kill every last one of them as soon as they are discovered. He should be in prison." Are you kidding me?
Right. Newsflash.
Where are people's brains?
Where have you been? They're dead.
Where have you been since we existed?
Yeah.
I mean, there are no dinosaurs. I just think it's really funny that people thought that it was real. That he actually killed this thing.
I think what it is that there's those pictures of the 19-year-old Texas girl going around, which I'm not going to name her. I just can't.
I would if I knew her name.
It makes me angry.
I can't remember.
It's disgusting. But I think people are so hot about that, they're just going to jump on any bandwagon. You know what I mean? So they're jumping on this, not even really, but it's so stupid. Like, the moment I saw it, I was like, oh, a new Jurassic Park movie. And then I'm like, wait a second. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Oh, no, that's really sad. Everyone's dumb. Like, so.
Well, and that's true. People jump on bandwagons. That's one of the, I guess, downsides to technology. All the social media stuff is that people, I mean, I like that people can share their opinions. You can have conversations about things, but sometimes people will make up stuff and say things that they think they know what they're talking about just so that they can be a part of the conversation, which is stupid because you need to know what you're talking about when you get involved in a conversation, especially about poaching and animal killing, like. Because it just makes you look stupid. It makes you look ignorant, and that's why we try, especially with this, we try our best to research these things that we talk about so that we're not stupid.
All day.
But yeah, I mean, dinosaurs are extinct. Okay, I'm so sorry to burst your bubble, but Steven Spielberg did not kill that Triceratops. He was fake.
They built it for Jurassic Park.
So
Go see the movie.
So was the shark. The shark
Yes.
was fake too.
It was very fake.
It's
His
really
name
funny.
was Bruce, actually, which is what we named Nemo. I mean, Bruce in Finding Nemo.
Finding Nemo.
So.
There was some other things that he had posted over the past couple of days of like all of the backlash to the picture. Like he reposted articles from like the Huffington Post, BuzzFeed, CNN, all these other people that have talked about it. It was funny.
Goodness, people.
Yeah. The other entertainment thing we wanted to talk about was something really neat. Weird Al Yankovic is putting out a new album. He's like a parody songwriter. He parodies songs, popular songs. And the one that he debuted today, right? The one that he debuted today is called Word Crimes, which is based off of the Robin Thicke song Blurred Lines. And we saw the video, and it was so neat. That's why we wanted to talk about it.
And it goes perfectly with this. People just
perfect.
not even like thinking. They're
just not thinking. I'll be the first person to admit, I'm not the best with grammar, and I don't always use correct punctuation stuff, but I do try. I don't. I've gotten better, especially with about to be going back to school and stuff. Even with my text messages, I try not to abbreviate too much, and you know what I mean? Because you get into a habit, especially if you're gonna be writing for a living or doing things like that, you need to be careful of what you. But yeah, I'm glad about this. I think it's a good thing.
I think it's a great thing. Yeah.
When they talked about it on The View today, and Whoopi said that she thought that he should do videos like Schoolhouse Rock, which would be really cool, because she was right. He's the perfect person to do it.
Yeah.
Because he's good. He's funny. I feel like people would watch it. Kids would, relate to it, especially with it being new songs and stuff like that.
And he already has like an audience with the younger generation, so I feel like it's the perfect thing to be like, hey kids, here's some learning for you.
Yeah.
Stop being dumb.
And it sounds just like this song, and the words in my version are better than the nasty ones that you hear on the radio.
Exactly.
Oh goodness. Well, let's move on to our life moments. Mine's really not that crazy. I am going to New York in a few weeks to a wedding, which I'm super excited about. It's going to be a very nice wedding. And my friend Diana from college is getting married. Super excited. But I ran into a little issue, and maybe some of you guys can help me out. I've known about this for a few months. I knew that I was going to be going. I knew that I was going to need a place to stay and whatnot. And usually when I go to New York, I stay with friends. But this go around, a lot of my friends that I usually stay with are not going to be in town or are going to be busy. And I feel bad asking. I've stayed with her parents before. I feel bad asking to stay with them just because of all the stuff that's going to be going on with the wedding and everything. I don't want to be in the way. So I looked at the hotels that she blocked for wedding guests and stuff like that, and all of them were like $250 a night, which I know that's, it's New York. Hotels are expensive. But that's really expensive.
That's too expensive.
I love you, Diana, but I can't afford that. So my dilemma is I've got to find a place to stay, because not going is not an option. I already have my flight. The wedding is, I know when it is. I've RSVP'd, yes, I have to go. I'm curious about this Airbnb site. Now, I know that they've had a little bit of issues lately with people trying to set up hotels illegally on that site, but it's supposed to just be for, like, if you have a room that you have available or something like that. People post rooms. Like, say you lived in the city and you had an apartment and you had 2 bedrooms, but you were the only person that lived there. Like, you could post your bedroom or that spare bedroom on for people to book to come stay in, like, on vacation. And it's a lot cheaper than staying in a hotel. It's a very reputable website. It's very legit. A lot of people use it. I have asked tons of my friends about it that have used it. They said it was a great experience, that you just have to make sure you do your homework and read all the reviews, every single review on each individual person, and make sure that you contact the person and that they contact you back, and you ask all the questions that you need to do, like, do your homework, basically. But, I mean, would you do something like that, or would you guys do something like that? I mean, does it sound...
Yes.
I mean, it looks fine to me. I mean, I can't pay for a hotel, so I don't have many options, but...
Yeah, do that. Or, I mean, I know this is also
I've never stayed in a hostel either.
So sketchier. Yeah, hostels, but then like there's another one that's really I feel like it'd be a
We've all
great
seen that movie.
experience. But if it's, done right, but there's couch surfing. There's a couch surfing website where if you want to travel, you can go online and people will host you at their house and you can stay at their house, which I think would be really cool, but it's kind of scary and sketchy, but
I feel like that one would be a little too much for me. Because like this you can choose to where you have, it's the room. Sometimes the person that owns the apartment might be there, but most of the time they're not.
Mm-hmm.
You have a little bit more control over the situation. I feel like then that might, I don't know, I don't want to sleep on a couch. I mean, I know that I only am going to need it to sleep and to get ready and stuff, but I don't know. We'll see. I'll keep you posted on what I decide to do. But why don't you go ahead and talk about your you always seem to have better ones than I do.
No.
My life is boring.
I don't feel like your life is boring. I feel like my life is ridiculous. Just with people, okay, so I started seeing this guy, and when we were seeing each other, he ditched me 3 times to just go hang out with other girls. And so that
this
really
is not the one that
me.
we talked about before that
no, this
was
is
texting you and stuff.
Oh, which one?
When, like, our first show when we were talking about the guy that was texting you in the middle of the night. Is this that person?
Different guy.
Okay.
But no, like, when we were hanging out, he, like, when we were hanging out, it was fine. But, like, when we were, trying to talk and let's hang out and blah, blah, I'd be like, all right, let's hang out this time. Cool. Oh, he's the one I texted you about when I was like, he didn't show up. And I was like, can I just text him rude?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Okay, he's that one. And because I would be like, oh, hey, let's hang out on this day, this time, cool. And then he would just, like, not text me back. And then, like, that time would roll around. I'm like, hey, are we meeting up? And then later he'd be like, oh, well, I went to go hang out with my friend so-and-so instead. And you're like, but, okay. So today I saw him at work. And when I saw him, I was just kind of like, I'm over it. Like, just whatever, I've moved on. It's somebody else. Like, I'm over it. So when I saw him, I was just kind of like, eh. So I went back to, like, doing what I was doing. Like, I was looking up stuff for the show. And he comes up behind me and, like, touched my ear. And I just kind of, like, went like this. And I was like, hello. And I went back to what I was doing. And I could tell that he was genuinely hurt. He just, like, stood there and looked at me like, oh. And I'm like, no. Like, I don't feel bad. Because I tried to let you in that way where it's appropriate for you to, be comfortable with me, and you totally ditched me to see it. Not even just, like, to go hang out with other guys, to go hang out with other girls. Like, no, bro. Like, what are you doing? Like, if you're trying to get with a girl, you need to make her feel like she's the only one. Don't go, oh, I'm actually ditching you to go hang out with this other girl that I know that's also in entertainment and pretty and blah, blah. And you're just like, okay, well, then go hang out with her because I'm done. There are other guys. Like, and I saw him multiple times today. We shared the same break room. Mm-hmm. And so he would come and sit next to me, and I was reading a book, or I would be talking to somebody else. And there was a lot of guys in our break room, and I would be talking to them, just talking, not even trying to be, like, flirty. Just, just normal talking, and you could tell that it really hurt him. That, like, oh, this girl is actually, like, really wanted by these other guys, and what did I do? Like, and then just, like, and I would just look at him and be like, yeah, okay. Like, he would be like, oh, so how's your day? Oh, it's doing really, really good. Oh, so what were we talking about? Blah, blah, blah. Like, don't have time for you. Like, I can't.
Well, I mean, my dating life is pretty much non-existent right now. But it's funny because I had this same conversation with a friend of mine at work the other day who almost had the exact same situation. She has been talking to this guy. They've hung out several times. They've spent a lot of time together. He is Muslim, so he's doing Ramadan right now. And for some reason, he's used that as an excuse to not see her. And I mean, if you don't know what Ramadan is, it's usually during the summer, and they basically go on a fast for X amount of days. I can't remember how many days it is, but they go on a fast and they don't eat during certain hours. Or is it all the time? I can't remember.
No, they eat once the sun goes down.
Once the sun goes down, that's what it is. So anyway, she had messaged him or had texted him saying, hey, do you want to hang out tonight? I get off at this time. I know that you can't really go out to dinner, but, like, if there's anything you want to do, can we hang out? Well, then he responded back and was like, yeah, let's go running, whatever. It was really late at night. She gets to his house, and there's a box of candy with something on outside his door from this girl.
Oh.
And
Oh,
so
okay.
through all these events, and he's like, oh yeah, we're just friends, blah blah. Well, she finds out over time
You don't
that
just buy candy.
he's been
for
hanging
some
out with all these
guy.
other girls, yeah, and her at the same time, and it hurt her because she liked
Yeah.
him, you know. And so I think
Stupid.
that's just low. I mean, you shouldn't play people like that. I mean, it happens a lot, and a lot of people do it, but that doesn't make it okay. You know, you shouldn't do that. Shouldn't do it. The same thing happens in friendships too, though. I've had friends like that who I'll meet them, we'll hang out and stuff, and get really close in a fairly short period of time, and then it's like they get bored, and which is just really sad in today's culture that happens so often, you know, and it happens a lot here in where we are, but you know, even outside of here it happens, and it's just sad because it makes it hard to keep friends. You know, don't do that to people. Don't become friends and hang out with them all the time, and then just because, you know, the next best thing comes along, it doesn't mean that you forget this other one, you know. But
you make time for everyone, or try to get everyone
yeah,
together.
longevity is
But not when you're dating
is
them.
a hard thing these
Yeah.
days for whatever reason.
It is. It really is. So frustrating.
Yeah. Well, that's about it.
Don't
Do you
be
have
a
any
jerk.
final words on that topic?
Don't be a jerk.
Don't be a jerk.
Just don't be a jerk. Don't be one of those people.
Don't.
Just try to stick it out with who you're, like, especially if you want to date someone. Like, I get it wanting to, like, I get it going on different dates with different people.
Yeah, that's a different thing.
I get that, but like,
but if something
totally,
starts to get serious,
yeah,
then you kind of have to figure out where your priorities are and what you want to do.
And especially because it frustrated me because, like, when we were working together, at the end of the day, he'd be like, you know, you want to come back to my place, we can eat dinner, we can relax, and then we can come back to work together. Like, it was like that sort of thing. Like, we're going to stay over, blah, blah. And then for him to be like, and then one night I said no. And then that's when things started to get like, all right, well, hey, how about you stick out a little bit longer and we'll see where that leads.
Yeah.
How about, why do you have to, like, ditch me and be like, oh,
Yeah.
well, if you're not going to be a slut
Yeah.
on the first, you know what I mean?
Well, that goes
like,
into the same thing of, you know, just because you're seeing somebody doesn't mean you have to be with that person all the time. Like,
yeah,
have other friends and just manage your time wisely. If you say no once, it's not the end of the world. Like, you shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, it's just
dumb. It is dumb.
Dumb.
Don't be a jerk.
Don't be a jerk.
Don't be jerks. Don't be jerks. Don't be the B word.
The D word.
My mom yelled at me for something I said on here one of these shows once. I said some word and she got mad at me. So I'm not saying anything else like that for a while. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching tonight. And like I said earlier, follow us on Twitter at MixItUpTV. That's the Twitter for the show. You can find me at Caleb Graham and on Facebook, facebook.com/CalebGrahamOfficial. That's my Facebook page for the world.
Nice, the Facebook page. He's official, guys.
So official.
He's a real person now. He's a Facebook page.
Well, I don't want to add everybody that watches this on my actual personal Facebook page.
How rude.
Sorry. Keep your personal life a little separate from the rest of the world. And you're on Twitter, yes?
I am on Twitter. KitKatLexi. Yay.
Instagram too, right? Is it the same? Or are you on Instagram?
I am on Instagram.
My Instagram is Caleb Graham also. But she's not sure what hers is.
I'm not sure what mine is.
Also, we have this new account that we just started today on younow.com, which is another broadcasting site where you broadcast live. And we broadcasted this there also, but this is different because it doesn't save the video there. It's just a live broadcast and you talk to people. Whereas this video goes straight up to YouTube. Yay, watch it, rate and comment. What's your Instagram?
Lex Zolli. So it's LEXZOLLI.
Yes, so follow us everywhere. And let us know.
Not like in real life, though.
Yeah, don't do that. We don't want one of those Sandra Bullock thing. We can talk about that tomorrow. Tomorrow's show, we're going to be talking about Sandra Bullock and how she confronted her stalker at her house.
What?
Yeah, that happened. Anyway, we're going to go. If you want to keep the conversation going, come over to younow.com/mixitup, and we're going to keep talking a little bit on there, have a little after show kind of thing, and chit chat with some of these people that are watching us right now. And tweet us. Let's hear from you, and we'll see you tomorrow. We're going to be back tomorrow, I think, what did I say? 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock live here on youtube.com/mixituptube. Let's play a song before we go. Let's play a song before we go. And
Thank
share us
you.
everywhere. Share this video everywhere.
Yes, tell all your friends.
Let's see. Share, share, share. Here, this is my girl's song from work.
Oh goodness. I can't with you.
Literally the other night they were playing this in the break room and everybody was dancing. It was fun.
Every day is payday. Swipe my card and I do it.
I wish every day was payday. We'll just leave it that way. Alright, have fun everybody. See you later. Bye.
So listen up.